friends. That's me. How's it going? Hello, pals, buddies. I just want to do Sudoku. That's all. Let's go over here. Let's do Sudoku. I have an idea today. We're gonna see if it works. So I don't have much of a thought of what I want to do. I've done a couple puzzles by a certain solver whose name is escaping me. So I was thinking, seeing what else they have to offer. It is Vushil? Not sure. Those puzzles. Anyway, I have an idea today. We're gonna see how it goes. So I've done a couple of these puzzles. You can see they definitely are towards the more difficult end. Which two did I do? I'm not seeing the solved message. Maybe I didn't put it in. It's annoying to enter the solution on iPad, so I haven't done it yet. I think I did Monarch. Yeah, I did this one. I did quite like this one. This was good. The butterfly. It's the butterfly and not the king. Get it? Because it's anti-king rules. I did like that one. Did I do bondage? I did do this one, and it was tricky, but I did like it. I was just trying to find something that looks like it's in my solvability range. Looks like this is very highly rated, 2 stars, lots of plays, cross total. Looks hard. Arrows without the circle. Oh, our palindromes. That's interesting. Okay, let's try this. I'm not sure how well I'm going to do with it, to be totally honest with you, but let's give it a shot. So here's what I want to try today. A tomato. What could that mean? I feel like that was a warning shot. Who just threw a tomato? Okay, check this out. Are you ready for this? Let's see if it works. We're gonna violate the page again. But I'm excited about this one. Phil Powers, how's it going? Yeah, right. Likely story. Well, I don't know what happened, officer. The tomato just went off in my hand. It wasn't. I didn't think it was loaded. Well, I heard that one before. Okay, we should make a real way to do this, but in lieu of doing things properly, let's do it the slow, hard way. We want to go here, and we want the game. We want a background. Here, not that color. Okay, how's that look? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm certain there's a better way to do this, but I think it's funny. Okay, but we probably should make it where we can actually see the numbers and such. Owen doesn't like it. If Owen's South Spy, I won't like it if the numbers are illegible. So background, color, RGB, A. This doesn't work though, does it, actually, to do it this way? I think we just have to make this solid. That's too bad. I mean, we may just have to go with this. Because I'm remembering, I forgot we tried this. The like semi opacity doesn't key, like obviously. So we could just do this. Boring. Okay, well, we'll go with it. How would I want to do that? What would be cool is if you could add this. Let's think about that a little bit. Could add this as a browser source and play it in the browser source. By the way, this looks insane on my screen. It does not look. It does not look. Does not look great. It's a little garish. But look how relaxing it is. Don't you feel relaxed? Soothing. Ah. Okay, at some point we'll come up with like better ways to do things like this. Because we could just inject. It's silly, but we can inject an iframe. Since I can't put an iframe from there into my page, I want to do the opposite. Is the plan. I think it's the plan. Okay, anyway, let's try to solve this. So, how do we do that? The rules are standard Sudoku rules apply. Digits on an arrow center the digit in attached circle. That's normal arrow Sudoku rules. Do I like this particular background? Sorry, I've distracted myself again. It's not bad. I downloaded a few like free stock backgrounds. Is this one better? This one's pretty jerky. So I think we will go with this one for now. Excuse me. There's a recording here, but I probably shouldn't click that. Could be anything. Is this tileable? That'd be sort of crazy. Surely it's not, right? Almost looks... It's very pretty. I just don't know how I feel like, you know, it's beautiful. I love it. I don't know exactly how I feel about it with... It almost looks horizontally tileable. That would be surprising, right? Certainly not. You know... Vertically tileable because there's depth of field seems like a no, but it almost looks horizontally tileable. Anyway, I just don't know if it's the right background for Sudoku. You know, like for Sudoku, you want a certain kind of feel. Is that too distracting? I guess I could flip it. Do you think I could flip it horizontally? Probably a filter that does that, right? You filter this. Add some filters. I was going to start doing the puzzle, and then I'm not doing the puzzle. Okay, I just want to see, this would help us know the tileability. The answer is it is not horizontally tileable. I think that's fair to say. Okay, good to know. But not displacement. What's the thing you can do like? There's like a tile and offset kind of thing. Maybe it's 3D transform. You had negative 100 on the X. There are the bright highlights on the left side. Instead, advanced mode. Love advanced mode. Got a perspective camera. I thought there was a tiling though. I don't know. Okay, we don't worry about it for now. Let's try to actually solve this puzzle. Let's restart the timer again. And okay, so this is normal arrow rules, but the arrows are palindromes, which is interesting. So we have some that is really interesting. That makes it pretty hard in these 3-cell arrows for there to ever be high digits. So I mean, okay, maybe this doesn't mean this, but I think it means this. What is the highest digit you could put here, knowing that the outer 2 digits are the same digit? If I'm understanding that correctly, this digit is this digit. So how could I ever put anything greater than a 4 in these? Is that a real deduction or not a real deduction? Arrows without the circle are palindromes. If I put 5 in here, that's already 10, regardless of what goes in here. I could put 4 in here, but only if I have a 1 here and this is a 9, which is not always going to be the case, obviously. So the lowest you could put on these is that true? Is that a real deduction? That seems almost, it seems like it's not possible for that to be true. Because that also severely limits what this could be. So on all of these 3 cells, arrows without the circles are palindromes. They're the same forwards and backwards. I need one of my coaches to help me with this one. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that for now. Is that these are required to be low digits. You could have a 7. With 1, 1, I guess. Like a 1 and 1. I mean, here. That seems very restrictive. So the lowest this could be, because of the little zig in it, is 1 plus 1 plus 2. Which means the minimum here. So we're saying these are 4 through 9. We're saying this is 1 through 7. I almost can't believe that this is true. Now it doesn't, there's no requirement on this other than it is not 8 or 9, I guess. For those, I think that's fair to say. Now this is a weird one. If this is a palindrome and it's a 2-digit palindrome, this number just is this number, right? Is that what a 2-digit palindrome means? I think it is. So what have we learned because of that? Surely we have learned a lesson. Surely there's a critical deduction. What it says, it doesn't say that much about this. Because of the shape of these arrows, they have a lot of latitude. This latitude is more minimal. It's just hard to put. It's hard to put high-ish digits on here, I guess is the thing we could say. And 8 and 9 are never on the arrows, but that's not tremendously helpful because they could certainly be in the bulbs. Or the circles, sorry. These are not thermometers, not bulbs. I kind of want to have soothing ocean sounds with the background we have. This digit, low digit. Problem here, I mean, does that mean this isn't, it's either 1, 1, I guess let's just write it in because maybe there's more, this might be one of those things where there's more to it than it seems like. So it could be 1, 1 to make 2. It's not a 2. If you get 1 plus 1 to make 2. It could be 2, 2 to make 4. It could be 3, 3 to make 6. It could be 4, 4 to make 8. But once we're at 5, 5, well, we've said it's not 5. So 1, 2, 3, or 4 to end up with 2, 4, 6, or 8 in that little fellow. Now, what might be useful is if we could have a run, like if we could knock a cool off of one of these, I think that would be a useful thing. Like knowing there's only 4 low digits, if we knew if we had, say there were 4 low digits in this line, we would know this is not a low digit, and then we would know it was a 6 or 7. But at this moment, I'm not seeing I'm not seeing that anywhere. In fact, it seems like it's carefully arranged so there's always only 1 or 2. This is going to look at this though. Okay, maybe that's worth looking at. Like thinking about, these aren't all high because we've said it can only be 7, 8. So certainly one of them is low, and that's going to be true up here as well. Oh, and in fact, these, look at those two. So there's lots of arrows looking at each other, I guess. Kind of trying to determine if there's anything meaningful in here other than these are like high slash green. Cherry darts would probably do something like this. I don't know if I would do something like that, but I think cherry darts would do that. So I realize we're blocking the, actually, can I push this button? Does that help? Nope. Push this button. Okay, so you can at least see the time up there. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. So that's two of the high digits are looking here, but we don't know which. It'd be handy to know. So can we make any other claims about high or high-ish digits? I mean, 1 plus 1 plus 2 to get 4 means it's pretty hard for these to be low. It's pretty hard for these to be low, right? But the only configuration that gives you a low digit in the circle, because as soon as you have 2, 2 plus another digit, even if it's a 1, is a 5. So it feels hard. Feels difficult for these to be high, but it feels very difficult for these to be low. Like you can see, like only one of those is gonna have even the possibility of being low. It's wherever the 1 is in here. So is that what we need to think about? So we know we've got this fun pattern. We know something about polarity, if that's even relevant. I think it is, but maybe it's not. This digit is shared these 3 digits are the same digit. Like, surely that means something, right? That feels kind of important. That if these are palindromes, these are the same digit. What might that mean? I guess it would mean something like that. And I guess it would mean... Well, that's kind of interesting. That means that whatever this digit is, whatever this low digit is that a true statement? Whatever this low digit is definitely not this low digit, and also so it's not this low digit. So that means that this low digit is not, well, it couldn't be, obviously, because those match and you'd have a conflict. So whatever this low digit is, these palindromes are made entirely without it. So what would the minimum be then? Like 223? So this is a minimum of 7? If the low digit was a 1, sorry. It feels like there's probably a way to know that. And we know that this is double that digit, whatever that means. Does that mean anything to anybody? That those 3 digits are the same. It feels somehow suspect, but I don't know why. Like, it doesn't matter that this sees this because obviously it's not that. Like, I don't think that is meaningful. It feels somehow significant that we're saying it is definitely not on these lines. But I don't know that anything is required. I don't know that we're saying anything is required to be on these lines because it seems fine. Say that was the number 1, for example. This could be 2 plus 2 plus 4. Put 8 here. Oh, is this going to be really hard to do, actually? Is this the thing where we can't minimize both? Like, 3, 3, 6. Well, I guess it just means that's potentially... Okay, maybe that actually gets a little hard if this is 1, we're ruling 1 entirely off these lines. So just to think about what that might look like. Like, we try to keep this really low. The digit that we have to double, we probably want that to be as low as possible, right? Remember, the total of this, we can't exceed 18 for whatever the total sum is here. And then we put the 4 here and the 5 here. That looks like a problem. Is it? So it kind of feels not possible to do this without 1. I guess a way to think of like thinking about what the sum of this is this is as low as you could make this. If it was 1 that was ruled off, I think this is as low as you could make this. If 1's over here. Which you get 10 on that side, so you get 19. So you're only 1 degree away, unfortunately. So, like, I think as soon as you add the 1 back, you're okay. Well, oh, I'm sorry. Obviously, it can't be 18. You have a degree of 2 because if it's 18, these are 2 9s. So these can't sum to more than. Oh, weird. Okay. you have to be careful of this too. Because we just said that this was 1. But if this is 1 plus 1, this would be equal to 2, and we just ruled 2 off. I think we could have avoided that by going the other way, but that is a thing you have to be thoughtful of when you do this. So I don't know if this is the right place to look, but it seems interesting that right now, but it just feels like as soon as you do this, the pressure's off. 1, because this is no longer... I mean, if we're saying 2 wasn't on it, for example, then this is fine. So I guess what that means is on these pairs and these pairs, I think it means that 1 is in the mix. But that 2 is not necessarily in the mix. Wait, okay, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. This is not valid. Of course this isn't valid. This is still... okay, this is not valid. This, however, I think is. We had 10 on one side there. But that gives us 7 here. I wonder if it's going to mean that you can't have a high digit here or something. And 8 there. And that doesn't really seem to... Oh, wait, sorry. I was just saying... God, we were trying to do this without 2. We were trying to do this without 2. So what can you do without 2? Is it possible to do this without 2? Because right now it's broken. So is there a way to reduce this? I don't think there is. I don't think there is. It seems hard to do without 2. I don't know how to do this in fewer digits. But without 3, which is what this would be, is okay. And I think without 4, I don't see a reason that you would have an issue here. But it does really feel like you have to have... You have to have 1 and 2. Does that seem reasonable? Like, with the sum of these... Kind of a weird thing, because you have to like think about the double digit in a way you normally wouldn't necessarily if you're just trying to like sum these up. I don't see a way to do this. I hope that's right. I really do. Because if that's right, then we know that this, and this are three or 4. Is that really, 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 really true? Is it not possible to do this without a 1? And it's not possible to do it without a 2. You want to minimize the digit that you have to double, certainly. You want to have the higher digit with the lower digit. And even if you try to say like, okay, what if I could do 3? What if I can have 1, but I can't have 2? Like, can make that side work, but now this side is broken. So I think I'm prepared to say that these are not 1 and these are not 2. Sadly, they seem to be able to be, because double 3 would be 6, double 4 would be 8, for a total of 14. We're aiming for 17. You'd only have 3 there. Well, we just said we're not using 1 or 2, so how are you going to make the remaining 3 in 2 digits? I don't think you can do it. If I'm wrong, then this whole thing is gonna fall apart. But I think this is these are 3 or 4. And that means this is not 2. And that means this is not 4. And that means the minimum of this is 6. And that's the minimum of this is 6. So if it's double 4, this can only be a 1. If it's double 3, that's 6, but we've already used the 3. So it's, if it's double 4, it's 8, so there's only room for 1 to make 9. If it's double 3, it's 6, so you could have 1 to make 7. You could have 2 to make 8, but you can't have 3 to make 9, because then you'd have 2 3s. So this is either 3 1 3, which would be 7, or it's 3 2 3, which would be 8, or it is 4 1 4, which would be 9. What are you gonna make this? This is gonna see only one of those digits, so it could be the other. So like whichever this one is, it could be the other one. I don't think we want to double this digit, but oh, hang on. The other low digit we want is in a 3-4 pair here. Or like a weird offset pair. So if we minimize this with 1 1 and 2 2, right? Knowing our maximum is 17. 2 2 is 4. So we get a total of 6. We have to make 11 in 2 digits without 1 or 2. Can never, well, maybe in this case we could. No, you can't. How can you do that? So without 2, and knowing in this case, one of these is 9 and one of these is, or maximum one is 9, one is 8. So we're at 14. We can't have more. Sorry, that's not true. We are at 6. So 17 minus the 6, we're at 11 in 2 cells. and it's obviously not 2, 9 for a lot of reasons, because we're using 2 and because you couldn't have a 9 here. We also can't have an 8 here anyway. But I don't know. Maybe that's not the right thinking. I mean, there's a 3 and a 4 down here. No, a 3 or a 4 down here. Sorry. These are the same. Well, aren't we saying because we have to have, I don't quite know what we're saying in regards to that, because we're just saying you have to have a 1 or a 2. But are we necessarily saying that those have to be the digits that are doubled? There's at least 1 low digit over here, but I don't guess we know that there's 2 digits. Is there some reason that you have to have a 4? That would seem weird. I wouldn't think that that would be true. Like if we did 1 and 1 and 2 and 2, we know whichever, okay. But we have 3 or 4. So even if we took the lowest, and then this would be 5, it'd be fine. I mean, once you have 1 and 2 out there, I'm trying to decide, like, are we saying for sure that this is 1, 2? You know? Or can you have your 1 and 2 in here, or some version of that? I guess that gets a little hard to do. I don't know. This may not be the place that I should have been looking. But yeah, it's tough because we're just saying 1 and 2 are on these lines, but we're not necessarily saying that these are 1 and 2. I don't think we are. Like if this was 1, sorry, let me think of this again. 1 and 2, and we picked the lowest with the higher digit. That seems fine. Oh, that doesn't look good, does it? This is really, I feel like I'm making this too hard. Oh, and what am I going too hard? Am I doing, am I making this more complicated? How's it going? I'm certain there's a more obvious deduction here. That this, okay, but if this is, then this, we said the 4, one of these is over here, so that would make this a 5, but that's okay. I know I need to look at the waters and calm myself. I don't think I know the disposition of 1 and 2, other than to say that they're not both in here. So I don't know. It feels likely that I've missed something critical. Yeah, the palindrome is what makes this really interesting. So my first deduction, let me run this by you, see what you think. These are all palindromes. So I think that means that on these 3 cells, these all have to be low digits, right? Because as soon as this is 5 and 5, it's 10, right? So I think it's a requirement that these are low digits. That was the first big deduction. This palindrome, I think, means that these are both the same digit, which when you look at that means that these 3 are the same digit. So whatever digit this is crammed over here. And then we did the work to try to figure out, is this a 1? Is this a 2? And we decided, because in other words, whatever digit you put here, this little triad, is nowhere on these 2 arrows, right? So my reasoning was that you're then cramming that digit over here. So I was trying to figure out what digit could you cram over here and know that would not appear on these arrows. And it doesn't feel possible to not have a 1 on this arrow because of the doubling effect. So even if you try to minimize the doubling, you run into trouble and immediately hit 10 if you don't have a 1. And then you have the same problem really if you don't have a 2. So my reasoning was that these weren't 1 or 2, so these are 3 and 4, so I got this stuff. So that's what I was just thinking through. So you're looking... Wait, I'm sorry. At... Wait, you're saying these? These 2? I think it's these 2 that are the same. Or maybe I'm not understanding. They all the arrows have little kinks in them that allow for it. Oh yeah. Sorry, yes, the circle is not part of the palindrome. That is important. Yeah. Okay, I don't know. Now I'm in one of those spots where it's like, is the answer really over here and I'm just not seeing it? Or did I learn what I was supposed to over here and I need to move on with my life? Because what I really would like to say is like, yes, not only do I know 1 and 2 are on here, but I know that these are 1 and 2. And I think we just said that we know that 1 and 2 aren't just crammed in here. But even with just 1 and double 3, if that's the 4, it seems okay. As long as they're over somewhere. Yeah, let me see where, actually in the, this is the same setter as this puzzle, which I really enjoyed this one. What is this one called? Cross total? Yeah, this one. Now it's time for you to solve this quickly and then I'll feel bad about myself. Not that bad, but a little bad. I'll feel a little bad about myself. So... it just, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like it's like on the tip of my tongue. That there's one more, deduction to be had here. Oh. Well, obviously, I mean, okay, sorry. No matter what, this isn't 1, 2. It's never 1, 2. It's never 1, 2. Because we know there's a low digit over here, and that would be the 4 low digits in this box. So that's just not possible. 1 and 2. Okay, so there's a couple reasons, but if I'm, so Phil, I'm trying to prove that they can't be the middle number. I know that 1 and 2 can't be here, so I definitely can't do this, right? Because I know these are low digits. And I know that there is 1 low digit over here at least, and now I have 4 digits in the box. So I definitely know they're not both. I would prefer it if there were neither, but I think unfortunately it's that 1 is low and 1 is not. Is what I think. What I currently think is true. It's very easy to have the 1. This feels very easy. I mean, if we take the higher version of the 2 digits here, but if we say this is the 4, which we don't know, I mean, that would disambiguate this, but this is certainly possible. And then we can't have the 4 here, but we could have the 5, and that would be okay. So this feels okay if this is 3, which we don't know. It's very easy to have 1 and 2 on the outside. Can I say that at least the 1 is outside? I don't really think so. Well, you wouldn't want to do that. You'd want this to be paired with whatever the larger digit is. And then you'd have maybe the 3 here and the 3 here and a 5 here. And even that works. So you can't even force the 1. Can't even force the 1 to the outside that I see. So I don't know. Maybe I need to stop looking at this. It's just a bit frustrating because it feels like we're just like on the cusp of just one more little, just give me one more deduction. What would that mean for this? I felt pretty good about this, I think. So we feel like this is essentially 3, 3, 6 or 3, 4, 8. This is 3, 3 to make 6 plus 1 is 7 or plus 2 is 8, or it's 4, 4 plus 1 equals 9. And that feels okay. It has some implications over here. Well, don't we know the same thing applies? That definitely 1 and 2 are over here. We just don't know where. It's hard to even pencil mark it. Like, how do you say, like, well, 1 and 2 are somewhere in here. They're not at the bottom. One of them, 1 or 2, is this feels like an insane person's pencil mark. This will see both of these low digits. Well, unfortunately, just may not see whatever low digit is over here. Okay, well, that's an interesting thing. Am I about to make a statement that is true? Let me think about this for a second. This digit gosh, it's kind of on the tip of my tongue, but I'm struggling with what the implications are here as far as like the additional low digit, like where it goes. But it feels okay for there to be 1 remaining low digit in here. I just don't know that it's a requirement that there's another low digit in here. We know that both low digits can't go in here. I'm sorry. I mean, of the remaining, let's see. So in other words, like, what are the implications of, well, you know you can't. You definitely can't. So one is over here. Problem is I don't think you need a low digit here. Sorry. Like, I think you can just kind of leave 3 and 4 alone and have 5 and 6 and allow both to be over there. I was hoping that it would be like, oh, they can't both be low and they can't both be high, but I think they can both be middle to high. I think they can't both be high, like truly high. Which that would be kind of interesting, because if you tried to do, okay, could you even do it? You couldn't. But you don't have to have. And then 7 just goes over here. So that's 9 here. I mean, this almost looks likely to me. That's what I want it to be. I like the 1-2s both outside. I really want to. I want to get there, but I don't know. I don't know how. I really like that just because it has so many implications for the rest of the puzzle. It really feels like a thing I want to be true. Does learning about this does not seem like it does much. So like this feels like it helped us down here. This is an 8. We do lose the ability for this to be an 8. This is a 6. We lose the ability for this to be a 6. Is there something about that? I don't think there is, because we have 2 lines to use. Like we have all these places where there's kind of just 1 degree of freedom. Sorry, I just don't think I'm seeing it. So I'm gonna think about some other stuff, I guess. Like, just a lot of leeway in these, especially knowing. Well, I guess one thing you can say, because we know these duplicate, is it fair to say that there's like in here somewhere is a 1 or a 2? And that's fair to pencil mark because we know these duplicate up here. And I think we can say that, you know, that 1-2 logic, the nature of this didn't have any bearing on that, did it? Now I can't remember. Like, oops. I guess it did. It was only once we knew there wasn't a 3. Wait, how did we do that before? Oh, we had... That was okay. Did we do this without... Yeah, we did. We said you don't need. So I don't think that logic stands over here in exactly the same way. I think it was this pressure here. So I don't, maybe the 1. I feel like I'm missing something. Sorry, now I feel like I've made a mistake here, but I think it. Okay, well, I think I have picked the hardest place to think about anything, of course. I guess another. I'm going to think about it in a different way. How's that sound? Like, what's the minimum sum? This is 1. Oops. 1, 2. Then that's 1, that's 2. Oops. Then this is, put the 3 here. Let me put the 4 here. So it's actually pretty hard to have. If you try to minimize them both, which I think I'm saying I can't do this. If I try to minimize this, well, this is broken because that's 7 in both. So trying to minimize this, it's hard to have something very low up here, isn't it? Like, just because you have to kind of split your... I mean, let's just ignore the 4-3 for a second. That's like a minimum of 5 in one and a minimum of 8 in the other. So there's definitely no low digits down here. But they could be 5. I mean, oh, and now I fear I'm just like completely off the rails over here. I don't see how you can be... I mean, this I don't think this is true, actually. This is not true, because you could come up with some configuration that allowed... Couldn't you? Or can you not? Can you come up with some configuration that allows for a low digit here? I don't know how you can. Because if you eat the 1 and 2, on one side, then this minimized is too much. So I don't think you can. I don't think you can have a low digit on those. I didn't really think you could. I was hoping you couldn't have 5. Oh no. Oh, and how am I making this way too hard? Probably. I like how it seemed to be uniquely good. That probably makes more sense. And just figure out where those can live in the world. That's probably way easier. Oh, and I feel like I want to restart with your approach because I feel like I'm not making much headway here. I think I'm like tainted by doing too many German Whispers puzzles. Okay. I'm gonna restart, but I'll keep my time so everyone will know what a bad job I did. I think that's a better strategy. I don't know why I'm so drawn to highs and lows. I mean, I do. I think it's because of German Whispers puzzles. Okay, so you're liking this idea, which is not dissimilar from what I was doing. It just has way more clarity, right? Like, so wait, does that mean, okay, this seems way easier. Okay, I'm gonna try with this approach. I think I see the value of it. So first, let me just color the palindromes, but I can already see that it makes things way easier to see as far as what things can or cannot be. Like this digit sees. I mean, I guess I already did all the work to say this is 3 or 4. I think I've already done all of that work, but we'll see if I need that again. One, I'm very curious to see if it was actually correct. I think it's true that there's a 3 or 4 here and a 3 or 4 here, but with this method, it is much easier to see that this sees pink and orange and blue, so must be green. And this sees blue at this end and green and orange at this end. Oh, and this is definitely the way you're supposed to do this. Definitely. Okay, so I like this. I'm not as certain about this particular digit though. Yeah, thank you for the suggestion. This seems much more fruitful than the... I just need to not default to high and low unless there's a German whisper in the puzzle. I was immediately taken by the fact that these were all low, right? That was the thing that I immediately hooked onto, and I was like, oh man, those are all low. I gotta do something with that. Okay, so these are not very restricted actually. Right? At least at the moment, these could be orange or blue. That's not that. No, that's not true. Because it's repeated and this one sees blue. Does that mean this is orange then? Okay, now I'm worried that I've messed up my coloring. No, because that one sees blue and that sees the other two, so I think it's orange. Okay, this feels better. Ooh, interesting. Sure, I would like to see it. Okay. Oh, and does this coloring look right? Can I get a check on the coloring? I like it. I'm pleased with it. Looks good. So far, so good. Thanks. Thanks. So I like this because this, I mean, I've already proved in other insane ways that these are not both. Yeah, like this. I mean, also, I won't be too surprised because my approach I mean, I definitely wasted some time doing other stuff like the wallpaper, but I don't know that I made progress for like 30 minutes because I was just caught in some like complicated logic disaster in the corner. This digit is pretty high. So, okay, sorry. So this sees all of the low digits, right? Which I knew. I knew there was a low digit over here. I knew that pink was over here. I now know actually where pink is. Do I? Because I was insistent that this digit was over here. Why was I insistent on that? Well, because now you can just see it. It's just obvious now. Okay, these are things I was trying to see without the colors. These are the things I was trying to see without the colors. So okay, so that will put pink there. I don't even know anything about blue yet. So okay, so this is not. None of these are low. Wherever blue is, I mean, blue is certainly not down here. We're not going to sum. We technically could, I guess. Well, not in this case, actually. But you could have. I think actually we proved you couldn't have 1, 1, 2, 1 to get a low digit down here. So I don't think blue is down here. Anyway, so I think this digit is high-ish. Because it's not 1, 2, 3, or 4. I don't want to just mark that as orange, though. I have so many flavors of low. Maybe this will be a different color. I'm gonna keep orange for high, just so I feel. I don't know. I don't think I can color that. It's too confusing. Is that true for both of these? Does this see everything as well? I think it does. That blue sees both. Okay, so both of these are high-ish digits, right? So they're 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. They're definitely not 9. They're not 8. They could be 7 with a double 1. So these are very high. The minimum of these would be 5 with a double 1. These are all low. This digit is this digit. Blue is over here somewhere. Who's missing then? I guess it's the 5 makes it a little hard to know. Certainly not both 5. So what about all the work I did to prove that these lines had 1s and 2s? Because I still feel like that's true. right? Like, because 5, I mean, 2 is just the minimum. I'm sorry, the maximum. So does this actually prove the thing that I wanted so much to be true? that these, in this case, have to be 1s and 2s. Now, because, yes, that's why. Because we know, in this case, we know all the other cools are here and there's no cool here. And when that was true, I think we did have to do 1-2 pairs. Is there any other way to do that? Because as soon as you have a 3 on either of these, it's 6. And that's no good. And that's what I thought was going to be true up here as well. Yeah, which I knew. That's funny. So Owen, when you joined, that's the thing I had just decided, that these were 3-4. So, but it took me 30 minutes to see it, and obviously I hadn't done the thing that let that propagate through the grid. So I'm very pleased, at least, if nothing else. I'm gonna go back and look. I'm very pleased that even with my insane approach to the puzzle, I was able to get to. I'm gonna verify that what I thought was true is true. Yes, I did at least do that. What's funny? So then somehow I proved that these were 1 and 2 because of that. But what color does that make this? Always count on me to find the slowest way to make a deduction. I very, very, very proud of that. Okay, so this is a minimum. I think what we said here is because this is a minimum of 6. This is a maximum of 3, but you can't have a 3 here because we've already used the 3. Yeah, but I wasn't wrong, you know. That I think the low intuition was the right intuition. I just moved forward with it in a very silly way when obviously these are different. So I just need to be more granular with my coloring, I think. And I'm glad you pointed that out, because I think I probably would have just restarted the puzzle and tried a totally different approach somewhere else. But okay, so what did we say? We said this is a maximum of 1 and 2 because if it's 3, it's double 3. So this is 1, 2. But do we know? We do. It's green. Well, right, because these are also 3, 4, right? I don't want to do those yet. Okay, this. Let's think about the implications of these briefly. Oh yeah, you're right. I can certainly do that. Yeah, let me do a bit more here, and then yeah, I'll just do Sudoku on colors. I just want to like follow through with my thoughts here, because we did know that these were. I think we said they could be 7, 8, and 9, but 9 was only with the 4 because it could be 3, 4, 1, 4, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1 for 7, 4, 4, 1 for 9, or 3, 4, 2 for 8. And then this was it's just double that. I had to follow through with my compulsive coloring. This half color is weird because the alternative is like high or 5. Okay, so that seems fine. So yeah, as far as colors, oops. and where colors live. You're very right that we can place red on this line, which is going to make that quite low. Actually, it's the same as this, just it's going to be, I'm assuming, it's going to be the opposite configuration, I think. Okay, so that gets a red and a 1-2. Are there any other reds that were immediately apparent? I don't know if I want to mark like theoretical red positions. Maybe I do, but I guess I'll try other colors first. Kind of hard for me to see these. Or they're just not like super obvious. Maybe I will have to mark the half options. Just feels weird for some reason with colors. I don't exactly know why. Okay, so we have all three reds there. That means there's a red. What's the right way to mark that? Like that. There's a red there. Oh, well, this red's easy because it's not. It's just this, right? And then there's a red. Did I do that correctly? The candy cane pair. And then didn't we have a couple of those with greens? Just double checking myself because you know, it's one of my hobbies is incorrect pencil marks. Okay, and blues we knew very, very little about, although we could probably by process eliminate. Certainly know there's a blue over here. I'll put that back. We did think it was pretty difficult for these to be. Didn't I say there was a reason that these couldn't be 5? No, I don't think so. I think I said there were a maximum of 7, but not that there was another limitation on them. But who knows if I'm remembering that correctly. It's hard for me to. The color friends are weird to mark. Okay. You friends, and finally you friends. It looks like a beautiful quilt that someone's sweet grandmother made. Is it Jagger G or Jaeger G? So my preference is I don't mind like hints to. I don't mind like, hey, look over here or like take a look in this region. My real preference, if you're on desktop, is to just click and throw a tomato, and then I can look. First of all, thank you for asking. I really appreciate that. I've only been streaming Sudoku for a week, so I'm still kind of deciding that. But I think my general preference is not saying like, hey, put a 2 over here. It's more like, hey, look in box 1 or think about box 1 or something like that. But I really appreciate you for asking for that. Okay, so now we have done that. So what do we want to do now? I mean, these are funny because they're higher than they would intuitively. The doubling is really weird. They just end up higher than you would sort of intuitively think they would be. Like, it's funny. So this before Owen sent me on a better path. This is exactly what I was trying to figure out is the nature of these, given the 3-4 pair there. you know, knowing that obviously that we like what the minimal possible values would be here. Oh, you said some. Wow. Do you have a favorite? Should I try one? Will you be mad at me if I'm really bad at it? I was just gonna look. Sorry, I'm getting very distracted. I was a little curious if, other than here, if there's anywhere that we'd kind of determined fully the color topology. You made one today? Oh, I would really like to. Yeah, if you. Okay, I'm gonna bang my head against this for a while longer. If I could just focus, maybe I would make some progress, but maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I wouldn't make any progress. I think we could get some minimum values for these, but I don't know that that would be especially helpful. I kind of want, well, I mean, obviously I want to disambiguate. You spy a green. Okay, that's good. Appreciate that. A green, eh? What obvious green am I missing? Oh, there's a sneaky little green. Thank you. See, I'm obviously too relaxed by the beautiful ocean background, but I can't see obvious things like that. So what oh yeah, I would appreciate that if you want to. Definitely don't have to join the Discord, but that would be cool. I'm sorry, are you saying that Jaeger and Jagger is reasonable when you answer with yes, or were you answering yes to one or the other of those? Anyway, what they were pointing out is, in a case like this, I don't need another green in here because I can see that certainly the green's not up there and it's not there. And I know green is over only one or two, so it's not going to be there. So that does give a green here, and that does disambiguate this green and give a green here. There's 1, 2, which is nice. So that does give us full coolness in here, but I don't know if that's really helpful because we already knew this was pretty high, right? Because I think this is going to conform to the same rules. I guess it didn't have to. I mean, it's not green. Could this even be a high digit? 6, 5? It has to be low. Right? Is there a way that this isn't red? Yeah, links are no problem. Is there a way that this is not red? If this isn't red, it sees the other colors. So if it's not red, it's a minimum of 5, and that seems like we're gonna have a bad day. So my claim is that is red. I don't know if you agree. I hope you do. If you disagree, please tell me. Cool. Yeah, but you know, we may have different opinions of easy or not easy, you know. Oh, cool. On the Cracking the Cryptic Discord. I just joined that a couple days ago to complain about no copy paste in the app. And I think I got ignored, but that's okay. So, okay. So this follows this same 789. I don't know that that's tremendously helpful. I mean, it does give us a 789 triple down here. That's suspicious. We have all of our coolnesses. So these are going to be, I don't have a good, like, we didn't come up with a good high-low to go. But, or like what our high-low strategy is going to be. Okay, but then we got all the reds, and did we get all the greens then? In the process of doing that, did we learn anything else about anything? I don't think so. And do we believe it is ever possible? No. Well, certainly this is a minimum of 5. But is there some world in which this could be blue? It feels like it. I'm afraid of anti-knights. I like them. I don't know, like those kind of... I have a hard time with. I like it. I like those kinds of rules. I like the... But I'm very good at not spotting them. Extremely proficient. Although I think Sudoku Pad does highlight anti-knights depending on how the puzzle was made. I'm not entirely sure. I think I did one where it was marking those as errors, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Once again, I'm distracting myself mightily. I think it is fair to say that this is a high-ish digit. Like at least 5, which puts the minimum, right? Because this sees all flavors of glow. So this is at least 5, so this is another 7, 8, 9 at least. This feels like there's some world in which it could be blue. But maybe that's not true. I mean, we haven't really spread blue around very much yet. That butterfly one, what was that? No, that was King. That was anti-King. That one was cool. It was also by this constructor. I enjoyed that puzzle. That's why I decided to try this one. I feel like I'm having a much harder time with it. So, what do we know about anything? We have thoughts and opinions about a lot of things. I just don't want this to be blue, but I don't think I've like sufficiently said that it can't be. Well, but we know purple is not here, so purple's here somewhere, right? Purple's not down here. Purple's not over here. Purple's here somewhere. So that's not purple. I'm gonna claim that is a that is progress of some kind. Is that how we kind of have the same thing to get the blue over here? Yeah, A prime example. Do you post your puzzles on Logic Masters as well, or just directly in the Discord? Skoja, how's it going? Oh no, even more pressure. Is that how come there's people that are good at? I do way better on these strings. This is just a true fact. You won't believe me, but I'm gonna say it. I'm way better at Sudoku when people who don't know how to do Sudoku are watching. But as soon as people with any expertise are here, it's all bets are off. At least we have soothing aquatic background. Okay, cool. There's weird things with Logic Masters where, I don't know, maybe I'm kind of misunderstanding it and something's lost in translation. Like you have to post an address of some kind to make an account. I just put the city I was in and it seemed to take that, but it seemed a little weird. Okay. What did we just do? We just placed a 3-4 here. But that doesn't help with anything, does it? There's like, I want you to not be blue. That's what I want for Christmas. But I don't know if I'm gonna get it. Okay, I should probably actually try to understand something. Like the implications of, seems like a lot is hinging on this digit, right? Like once you have this, things start to unfold. Yeah, because that unfolds this. Kyle, buddy, how's it going? There's at least 6. The number, okay, but Skojo, it's Sudoku, so you have to have a minimum. What's the minimum and the maximum? So what is the higher bound? It could be. Fistamafel is what finally drew me in. So I've mentioned this before, but what actually got me to start trying to solve was after watching Cracking the Cryptic for years and having kind of no interest in solving Sudoku because I think, okay, so I used to solve, a long time ago I did just like base Sudoku and I had a good time with it. And like 10 years ago in grad school, I met someone, a good friend who was like very anti-Sudoku. And she hated it because she was like, there's no art to it. There's no, at the time, which was maybe kind of true at the time. And she was very into crosswords and I was very into crosswords. And so now she's an editor for the Times, a crosswords editor for the Times, the New York Times, I should say. And I just have this like built-in bias, against Sudoku, but I love the Cracking the Cryptic videos for the last 3 years. But the thing that finally forced me to start doing them was that Fistamafel puzzle from a few weeks ago that was basically a combination of Sudoku and Picross. And now I've been trying to tell my friend Wenna, trying to tell her like, no, variant Sudoku is not the same as Sudoku, and there is art to it, and there is art to the setting, and it's like, there's a cleverness to the setting the way there is with crosswords, but I think she's just like a lifelong, I don't know. I mean, at a certain point, okay, maybe if I solved this puzzle, I would describe a religious epiphany I had about Sudoku in grad school. I mean, I don't have quite the same blanket bias against it, but I guess I had someone in my life that was like actively cultivating an appreciation for crosswords and actively slandering Sudoku, and so I was influenced by her. And so anyway, variant Sudoku is so different, but it's just funny that I had this like hidden bias. Okay, where are we gonna put blue in this world? I don't know. We got a whole bunch of high digits here. Sorry, so a bunch of low digits here. So that's pretty high. I feel like my lack of knowledge of blue is... Do we know everything about everything else? Not quite. Right? I don't think so. So blue is just hurts my feelings, frankly. There's a little blue weirdo in the corner. I don't know. Oh my gosh, so the other puzzle I did, the other couple puzzles I did from the setter, actually this is something I should keep in mind about this setter's puzzle. Doesn't look like it's going to happen here though. Like ended in intense roping, which was cool, but once you did the logic that was presented, it was only like half the grid, and then the whole rest of the grid was Sudoku, and I was dreading it. I was like, oh no, I have to do Sudoku. Oh no. Well, they had. I mean, I watched some of those videos with Mark and like his classic Sudoku. That was like there was that one in particular that was like spot a triple into spot a swordfish into spot a Y-wing. Just those were 3 logic steps. Okay, I'm not actually doing this puzzle. I'm being chatty. I mean, I love this. That's fun. The green in here is in this land. So this is high. I'm actually just kind of at a point where I'm floundering a little. Maybe a lot. But I think I have said everything I have to say about reds and everything I at the moment have to say about greens and everything at the moment I have to say about purples. Blues remain uncooperative, except to say, I guess, that there is a blue. Turns out there is a blue in box 6. You might have thought that there wasn't, but it turns out that that digit actually does exist in the box. I mean, it is the worst. It's a terrible realization when it's like, oh no, I gotta do Sudoku now. Because friends, let me tell you, not good at Sudoku, not very good at Sudoku. This feels important, right? Doesn't that feel kind of important? That just feels kind of convenient. But it's only convenient if you know where the blue is. I mean, what are the implications of this? These get to be the low guys. It's hard for this to be. I should probably actually think these through. If I had, okay, these we can't have 7s over here, right? Because if I had 1 7 7 to get 9, then I have 2 5 5 to get 9. Is it fair to say that 7s don't exist here? Let me just say that again. 1 7 7 is the only way I'm going to get a 9 here. But then we've forced this to be 2. And even if we minimize this, we get 2, we get 9, we get another 9. So I'm going to say I don't want a 7 here. I want to say I want the 7 out of my life. Which is kind of interesting because of this, because it means there's another high digit here. But we have 3 high digits here. So that's a 5 6 pair. So I'm missing one of these high digits and blue. But if I put the other high digit here, then I have trouble. So I think this is blue. Is that a fair thing to say? And this is, so this is 3 4, and this is also 7 8 9. Does that seem reasonable to everybody? I feel okay about that. It feels like we have a lot of stuff in here. 5s and 6s are going to be their own thing, right? Okay, thank you for the vote of confidence. I appreciate it. It feels like 5s and 6s are going to be a thing. They're just going to be their own little gang. He's like, some might call them middly, but we got 2 pairs and we got a triple. So this is another 5 6 weirdo. I almost want to give 5 6 weirdos their own color. That's going to put a 5 6 weirdo over here somewhere along with another high digit. But what does that mean? mean, the 5s and 6s, they're not weirdos. I shouldn't say no. There is another high digit with a 5 here. The 6, 8. How am I making 9? Two, 2, 5. 2, 2, 5. 1, 1, 6, I guess. Makes 9. But I can still... Well, the 2s don't go with this 6. The 2s don't go with the 6. That'd be a bad situation. So the 1s go with the 6 to make an 8, and the 2 goes with the 5 to make a 9. So this is actually an 8-9 pair. And so this is the 7. That's not what I expected. That is the opposite of what I expected. I thought because these were the higher digits that surely we were going to get something on the higher end here. Oh man. I do love the idea of Tetris. You know what I need? Okay, I need like a golf clap or when I make a deduction that probably everybody else already saw, and I'm just like making the world's most obvious. Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate that. No, come on. Thank you. Come on. It's fine. You know, some of us are just really good at Sudoku. Oh, wait. Oh no. Wait, were you throwing tomatoes? Okay, I should actually follow through with that deduction, right? What I just say? I meant to make this the 7, not remove the 7. I don't know. I think the tomatoes were just now. Gosh, who was it? Celebratory tomatoes. I like that. Well, you know, we do have modifier keys, so we could certainly make this where different keys throw different things. The tomatoes were the idea of a viewer, and at first they were asking how to do it, and then I was like, I think that's just too good of an idea, so I'm going to steal it, and they were okay with it. So, and it meant that I made it for them, so I think everybody won. Okay, so we said this is a 7. Which are we finally getting some disambiguation, because the only way we're going to make a 7, I think, is 3 and 1. Is that the truth? And so these are 3s and these are 1s. Is that? Oh boy. Nope. Wait, what did I break? Oh, these that were ambiguous. That's kind of annoying. Does that seem reasonable? I thought that gravity thing was cool. I didn't finish watching that video yet, but that was really interesting. It was interesting to see how that played out. Okay, so this is going to be the nightmare scenario here, though, is like once we do these, we're probably going to have to do Sudoku. Yeesh. 4, 4, 1 is a 9. We seem to have removed 7 from a possibility here. That was limit on what it can be. Is this really just end up being another 5, 6? Okay. 3, that's 8. That's 6. That gives us the 5 and the 6. We said that ends up being an 8. Counterintuitively, this doubling thing is cool. This is like the arrow palindrome thing. I think is a neat constraint. I actually love that. You know, I feel like one of the things that I've observed about really, and watching Cracking the Cryptic, it seems that one of the things, for example, that Simon loves about Fistamethel puzzles is often like every single deduction is a battle. Like you just have to like fight to get every single deduction. I love it way more when it's like you fight and you fight and you fight and you fight and you have this like set of dominoes and then one thing just like falls open. Not that this puzzle is done. This puzzle is definitely not done, but it's pretty done, right? Like it's kind of done. So we just removed, so this is a 2 and we're trying to make 8 or 9. So this is 6 or 7. I thought this was going to end up as 5, 6. Oops. It's 6 or 7 and there's a 7 right there. So that's another 8. This is going to be, well, that looks exciting. So this is a 4 and a minimum. We did say it was possible for this to be blue, but we seemingly have said that 8 is not possible for reasons because an 8's right there. Okay, so it's not blue. Good. I didn't want it to be. I never wanted this to be blue. So it's not 1, 2, 3, and it's not 4 because that would be 8. So that seems to say that it's a 5. And we get this same pattern over here. It would seem. Okay, that was fun. Now we have to do Sudoku. I don't want to. Do I have to? Can we just call this done? Call it good? I mean, we figured it out, right? Like it's, surely we can, like. Okay, what do we need? 3, 4, 7. There's a 3 over there. So we do know that that's like a weird purple blue 7 triple. What do we need here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. What? We have the 6 and the 8, so we get a 5. We get a 6, 8 pair. So that is 9 and 4, and the 4 is there. And we got our happy little 5, 6 pair. So 2, 7, 8. It's 2, 7, 8, and 7 is. Oh, it's nowhere, but there's a 2 here. That's not exciting. Over here. 5, 6, and 9. That 6 there. Oh my god, it's gonna take forever. I do like, I mean, yeah, I will say I don't, this constructor, this is my third puzzle, this setter, I should say, I guess. This is my third puzzle by this setter, and I feel like this happened, I think I mentioned that the first 2 puzzles I had done by them kind of resolve as a half puzzle, and then you do Sudoku from there. There's nothing wrong with that, but in the other 2, I believe in both of them, at least in the last one, there was roping. So once you saw that, like once you were at this point and you saw the roping, you just very easily went in and filled in the ropes. This puzzle does not afford the same luxury. But that's okay. So we have that 3, 4, 7 triple up here. So what's this? 6, 8 or 5? Not 7, 8. That's not right. Is that 8 down there? Hang on, what? No, 7 wasn't there. It is 5, 6. It's 6, 8, the other half of this pair, essentially, and then the other digit that is missing that's not part of this triple, which is 5. But 6 is seen here, but who cares? We do get a 5 there, and a 6 here, and a 9 here, which is nice. It's kind of amazing that we, like, yeah, just left with Sudoku. And it's like so toothy. I don't even know where to look. Four, 7, 8, 9. So this one sees this 4. We got an 8 down there. A 9 over here. Where's that? Oh, there's a 9 right there. So, man, I keep hoping someone's going to just give me a pair. Don't worry, we have a... Well, okay, sorry. I was just trying to figure out what I was... that's a 9. I was just confused by this because, like, wait, what is this weird quadruple and why doesn't it add up? But it was because it was a 7, 9 down here. Okay. So more high digits here to like fill in this little gap. I feel like this must be excruciatingly boring to watch me be bad at Sudoku. 4, 7, and is that what we're looking at? Thanks. 4, 7, and 4, 7, 9, and the 4, 9 sees that 7. The 4 sees this one. We get the 9. We get the 4. That takes the 4 out of there. Then we get a 3, 7. We still have this weird goofball triple. We do get an 8 here. Got a 2, 7 pair there. I'm bad at scanning. There is no 1, 2. Well, obviously it's not low, but it could be 5. It's not 6, 7. So it could be, oh, it's not 8 or 9. It's just 5. Is this just 5? Is that true? Was that, I said I was bad at scanning and then I just proved it? Like this digit can only be 5 and I didn't see that immediately? Okay. Okay, we get a 6, we get a 5. I really should just, I need a way to like in real time fast forward this part of the video. 4, 6, 7. Oops. That seems like a terrible place to look. Why do I pick such bad places to look? No. It feels weird that I have this much pencil marking and still don't know anything about anything. I mean, I should probably know something about something, you would think. But I don't. Wait, is that really just a 7? Okay. That's really just a 9. Wait, what is the second? Wait, what in the world? Why did you get auto-modded for saying the word hard? I mean, so, you know, there's certainly a satisfaction in spotting a naked single where it's just like, oh, it's like a little 4-leaf clover that just plucked away. But I don't know. That satisfaction for me is diluted by it's just my bad scanning. I really should. So Skojo, you were saying, do you just do like classic puzzles just to practice scanning? I really think I should do that. I think I should spend some time doing non-variant Sudoku, just because I was never great at it, but I haven't done it regularly for 10 years. So any skill I had at it, I feel like I've lost. Like the ability to just look at a grid and be like, oh, I see what's missing here. 5, 6, and what? 8? That's just a 5 with this naked single up here. That places the 5. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, we get this 6 and this 5. This 6, 8 pair. So what do we need here? 2 and 4. Okay. I think I can do Sudoku from here. Where's Grimbone? Maybe I can't. Maybe I can't. Maybe I can't just do Sudoku from here. That was a cool puzzle. I enjoyed it. Owen. So for those of you that came a little later, I only got here because of Owen, because I spent way too long having only split things into low and high instead of differentiating the lows. And I was making some progress, but it was excruciatingly slow. I was excruciatingly slow. No, I really appreciate that, Owen. That's cool. That's an interesting thing to do. Skojo, maybe I should do that. Okay, so now we need to enter this into Logic Masters. I like this. I can just drag the ocean around. But there's no way I'm typing this. I need to just make. I need to have like a Sudoku tooling stream where I just make my own scripts. We want to do this. So the solution is just row 5. So this is my solution for cut, copy, and paste, because inexplicably it's not in the app. Wait, did that not take my solution code? What happened? Oh, I got logged out. That's weird. You're a good coach, Owen. Appreciate it. I do want to check that out, though. I first want to take a look at the Jaggergy. Okay, solution code, copy. I'm sorry if you told me. Difficulty, I'm gonna call average. I'm gonna say that puzzle was nice. I'm not gonna call it very nice because it was so much Sudoku at the end, which is an insult. Okay. Yeah, but you're just too modest. I'm impressed with your solving skills. Okay, I can't stream for too much longer because maybe if I go into whispering mode. Okay, so we want to try a prime example. Oh no. I don't know. I don't know that I'm ready. I don't know that I'm ready for this right now. I'm I'm not good at primes. I don't have a mental list of prime numbers. Oh no, math. It's fine. I just don't have that. I don't have that built-in mental list of prime numbers. I guess we know they're. I mean, gosh, but it could be quite high, right? Would you mind? I mean, it's embarrassing to say that. I just feel like I'm not in the right mental state to. I would have to do something silly. I just know I would be really slow, and I think it would be frustrating to watch. And so I'm sure it's a good puzzle. It's just I think I would be really bad at it, unless I just made a list. Unless I have like list of primes over here to the side. Get a tattoo. I just think I would be so bad at spotting that. If you wouldn't mind. But I will keep this keep it on deck. Oh wait, sorry, Skojo, you had set one. I'm sorry, right? And I said I was gonna do it, and I didn't do it yet, like a jerk. Okay, wait, Jaeger, I did tell. I apologize. I thought about doing that earlier today, but then I wanted to do it while you were around. Okay, but we can queue some puzzles up. I will put this one in the but I will drop this on my Discord just so I do remember to look at it. So let me grab a prime example. I definitely want to try that puzzle. I just feel like I will just be an embarrassment on stream if I try it now. Okay, Skojo, this one, Ancient Artifacts. Is that the one? Draclin, how's it going, buddy? Do you see my new cool visual effect? I'll show you in a second. Skojo, I put the link on the link to the primes I dropped in my Discord if you're still around there. Okay, so we have important things to do before we start solving the puzzle. I'm very excited about this puzzle. I'm very into fog of war puzzles, but we have important things to do first, like make the game green. Now it needs to be lime green. Yeah. And then we need to... Owen doesn't like it when the puzzle's invisible. I mean, I get it. Okay, how's that? Okay, This is a stream variant. Draclin, I miss you. I really want you to 3D print something because I'm very curious about your printer. Let me just check my favorite channel called Has Draclin 3D Printed Anything? No updates for 3 days. So can I like subscribe to notifications? Is there a way to like not only like notification settings, all messages? I want to know that anything that goes on in this channel, I want to know about it immediately. Okay, I'm ready for the update. Thank you. Okay, sorry, I'm going to restart the timer. Skojo, so thank you for the... Can I give you a shout out? Not that it matters, but let's do it. How do you do that? Is that a real thing? Is that a Twitch thing? What does that do? I gave you a shout out. I don't know what that even means. I haven't built a thing yet to show shout outs on the stream. So there was my very mediocre shout out. Uh-oh. I think I might be poisoning myself. Looks like my tea ate through the glaze of the ceramic of my mug. Sorry, I have to restart the timer again because I wasn't paying attention again. Okay, restart. Okay. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Fog of War rules apply. Placing correct digit will reveal the surrounding cells. Love that. Lines are... Oh, no! Wow. Yes, Draclin, this is a Sudoku map. Oh, man, what a cool puzzle. You have to identify... Therefore, if two line segments enter the same cell, those line segments must be connected. Wait, sorry. Lines are Rinband German whispers or region sum lines. The identity of each line must be deduced. Lines never cross or branch in this puzzle. Therefore, if two line segments enter the same cell, they must be connected. Okay. So, sorry, this saying lines never cross. So, I just want to be sure I understand. Does that mean that this is guaranteed to be the same line? Yeah, region sum lines. Remember that racetrack puzzle was region sum, right? Okay, so this is guaranteed to be the same line. Well, I'm already afraid. But I have to remember. So I just want to I need to reconsider the rules of everything. So Rinbands are the non-repeating consecutive in any order. So if this was an 8-cell Rinband, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is not a Rinband, because an 8-cell Rinband would always have a 2 on it. If it were a German whisper, we would have all the fun polarity rules, and we would have the 5 rule. Cruelly, you didn't put a 5 here to let me know. Not having a 2 seems okay for German whisper. And then, so the region sum line is where I may need to kind of remember something. So region sum lines, in fact, I almost feel like I've seen this different ways in different puzzles. Like, is there some limitation of region sum lines re-entering somewhere, or is it okay for region sum lines to re-enter as long as the sum accumulates? Wait, region sum lines have to... Maybe I need a refresher on the rules of region sum as far as... So it can re-enter, but if this was a region sum line, its sum here would be a single digit number. And this would be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, which is, some would call a big number. Some would say that's what, 21? So am I correct in saying that this is a German whisper? Just to validate that I'm understanding the puzzle correctly. I just want to be sure that I really understand it. Oh, I'm sorry. In this one, every segment in the same region is a different sum. I'm sorry, Skojo. I just think I'm not quite understanding. Is it saying that this number and this number and this number, where there's one cell entries, okay, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thanks for being patient. So it's wrong of me to say that this is a sum in this puzzle. Are you saying this is a sum and this is a sum and this is a sum and this is a sum? Like those are individual, like this is the same as this, same as this, same as this, same as this? 3 of the same sum. I see. Okay. So that's a little different than I'm glad that you clarified, because I think I would have interpreted that incorrectly and thought that, because I'm almost certain I've seen region sum puzzles that do say anytime it goes into a cell that accumulates the sum, but I see. Well, then it is not true to say that it's not a region sum because of the thing I just said. It means that it's some sum that you could make in 3 cells or 2 cells. Oh, but there's no 2 here. But that's still okay. So if it were a region sum line, this could be 1 plus 3 plus 4 and be 8. So it would be 8 or 9. This would be 8 or 9. This would be 8 or 9 in 2 cells, and then this would be 8 or 9, and this would be 8 or 9. Is that tracking? Oh, I'm sorry, there's more rules. I'm sorry. I will say that the way my screen looks insane, because my screen is just, I've made the background bright green, so the rules maybe don't pop the way they normally do. Okay, I'm sorry. Have the same sum. Each visit is counted as separate. Okay, you made it very clear. And there are crocky dots in here. Okay, that's funny. You know, we were just talking, I don't know if you were part of that conversation, Skojo, but we actually were just talking about the idea of ambiguity in a fog of war puzzle. We weren't talking about it this way. We were talking more about like not having the rules known, and you would have to like see what variants appeared as they went. But this is a cool, this is cool. Okay, I think I understand now. I think I still think that it is fair to say that this is not a Renban. Because an 8-cell Renban has to have a 2, right? Because it could be like 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Gotta put a 2 there. And the 2 is not on any part of this 2 is definitely not on this Renban. That also means there's not a 2 in here, not a 2 in here. This is not a 2. Nobody thought this was a 2. Okay, so it feels at this moment, I don't see immediately a reason to say that it's not a German whisper, so I guess I feel like region sum is more suspicious. Okay, I'm really going to have to lower my voice soon because it's getting a little late here. Sorry, putting on a whisper mode. Okay, so what were the implications of a region sum line? Like, so I was just saying that this is 1 plus 3 plus 4. And we have to make a 9. How are we going to make a 9? Or an 8? How are we going to make an 8 or a 9 with no digits? Because as soon as you put 1, 3, 4 or 1, 3, 5. So it's 1, 3, 4 or 1, 3, 5. So if you're trying to make a 9 in 2 digits, it's not 4, 5. And it's not 6, 3, because we had the 3 over there. And I think you have to have a 3 over there. Yeah, but I think I said it's not a rim band. I think it's not a rim band. I'm just trying to prove to myself that it's not a region sum. And so I just want to, unless there's some really obvious reason it's not a region sum, like, you know, I think, oh no, I just put a digit there and it highlighted things. Oh no, sorry, I meant to, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. Forget it ever happened. Oh, that's dangerous in these puzzles to accidentally reveal things. Well, I deleted it before I really internalized what was back there. So anyway, so we're saying that this is 1, 3, 1, 3, and this is speculation. This is if it's region sum. It could be 1 and 3, and then 4 or 5. Because as soon as you put a 6 there, you'd have 10, which means that's the optionality here. And then so that means you're trying to make 8 or 9 without 1, 2, 3, and either 4 or 5. That sounds very hard to do. I hope it's impossible. Like to make a 9, if we're trying to make a 9, we're not using 8, 1, we're not using 7, 2, and we're not using 6, 3, and 5, we're using one of 5 or 4. So I think 9 is ruled out. And if we're trying to make 8, we're not using 1, 7. We're definitely using the 1 there. We're not using 2, 6. We're not using 3. Wait, I'm sorry. We're not using double 4. We're not using 3, 5. So I think that it's not a region sum line, is what I think. Would you tell me if I was, whoops, if I was so wrong? Blink once. Why does this look different? Is this a new version of the puzzle or something? The color. Oh, I guess you can't do the different palettes for lines. I see. Okay. Oh, that's cool. It colors. I wasn't expecting it to do that. I can't see. Did this happen when I undid the fog? I can't see like a little nubbin of something, or maybe that was already visible. Okay. So that's what I think is true. I'm nervous about it, but I think it's true. I feel like someone with more confidence would feel better. Okay, I've got to keep my voice down. Okay, remember. How am I going to remind myself to be quiet? Maybe if I turn off the backdrop light, it will remind me to be quiet. That didn't really help. It doesn't really make me feel like I should be quieter. Okay. Something bad gonna happen if I try to do this? Okay, I'm just waiting for a tomato to fly into my face. Okay, so I believe this is a German whisper. And if it is a German whisper, then we immediately know what is if we have trouble with these buttons. I'm gonna try to be careful to not place digits. That one of those has to be a 5, because you can never have a 5 on a German whisper. Okay, Skojo, that's a way easier way to think about it. To just think about, okay, yes, I'm going to mention that just because that's a way easier way to think about it than what I just said, which was eliminating things brute force. It's just, you could just highlight that number of digits and think, oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They all have to sum to What? Add 2. Oh, sorry, without the 2. It's 19, not 21, but we have the 2 here anyway. I see. Okay. That is a fast way to see it. So, given that, I believe it's not a rim band because a rim band would have a 2 on it somewhere, even if it's in the fog. And I believe that it's not a, what's its face called? I believe, okay, lower your voice. It's a region sum line. You gotta go into ASMR mode. It's getting a bit late. So, ASMR mode. Problem is I get excited when I'm solving Sudoku. So there's no 2s. We can only have 1 1, which is going to be tricky for 6s. And so whatever these are, these are all the same polarity. And if these were low, it would be broken because of the 2. I think. Because one, it would be low, high, low, high, low, high, low. That would be all 4 of the low digits, and that would be a bad time. So I think it's fair to say those are high. I know the 5 is here. So I think it's fair to say that these are low. These are low without being 2. Oops, I just said they're not 2. Sudoku ASMR. So we're looking at the German whisper now. We know a few things about German whispers. We know that it would be not possible to have a 4 here because, in fact, these are also 1, 2, 3, 4, but not a 2 because the 2 is there. These digits that we know that are explicitly high, why does this seem broken? Why does this seem broken? I mean, I guess we're going to have a repeat low over here because if we're saying these are explicitly high, these are all the high digits. So does that mean this digit is the same as this digit and this digit is the same as this digit? No, it doesn't, because one of them is a 5, but the one that isn't a 5, I guess there's some like alternating going, maybe not. Anyway, let's talk about this cell and this cell and this cell, because I don't think any of those cells can be a 4. Because then both of those would be 9s. So that kind of seems like if anybody's going to be a 4, it's you, but I don't know that that's required. But I think we can say that none of those are 4. Similarly, I think we can say that none of these are none of these are 6 for the same reason, because 6 would have to have 1s on both sides. Actually, wait, I need to back up a little bit. Is that actually true for these? Because they're outside of the cell. Sorry, I gotta back up a second. I think it is true for these because those 4 digits are definitely inside. I think it's definitely not true to say that all of the 6s necessarily. I don't think we can. Okay, I was about to say something that isn't true, I think, because these could both be 1, and these could be both 1, and these could both be 1 without causing harm, I think. It does mean there's another low digit here. What? Which one is it? Do I know? Oh no, I'm sure there's many eliminations that I'm not thinking of. So let's see. It gets a little tricky, right? Like if this is the one. Okay, I'm certain there are eliminations, and I just am. So the 4s out of here, I think, is a reasonable statement, right? I think that I feel good about that. This digit sees these 3, and this digit sees these 3. These 2 see each other, but it is possible for these to be the same, I guess, the same digit. None of them are 2. Okay, so let's look at the highs again. And think about the high. Did we lose the music? What happened to the music? When I went into ASMR mode, did the music just break? Can I just not hear it? Did I do everything right? Unplug my headphones by rolling around on the cable? Yep, I did. Oh no, oh no. Okay, sorry, the music didn't stop. I just rolled over the cable. Okay, so, sorry. Let me think about this again. So, let's get back to the high digits. So the thing I was saying that was incorrect initially was that, sorry, a rule of thumb for German whispers is they can never have 5s. Another rule of thumb for German whispers is that the polarity kind of oscillates high-low. The third rule of thumb is that 4s and 6s have issues. So we've removed the 4s because you've got to be 5 away, so those can't be 1s. The thing I was saying is about 6s is that 6s can't 6s have to be next to 1s, and I was about to remove all of them, but in this case that is valid for these. But that still feels like the only restriction that seems, I just don't know what else we could do here. So, and it does seem suspicious that these do see each other. So like the implications of this being, of these both being 1. Is that possible? It just feels like there's, because there again, there is definitely another low digit in here. I'm afraid to like type 1s in because I don't want to accidentally do the puzzle. But if these are both 1s, then this becomes a 3. And it is a bit hard to put something next to a 3 in this configuration. You certainly can't have a 7. That becomes a 3. So that would force this to be 8 and 9. Right? Because only, if this is 3, these are forced to be 8 and 9 because 7 is too close to 3. But then if I said this was a 1, then we've moved the 1 from here and we move the 3. So this is a 4 and it has to be next to a 9. Right? So I think that's not okay. So this is not a 6. Does that seem reasonable? Oh, Jaeger, is that what you were seeing? Jaeger? I still, I'm just going to say both. Oh, I see. Try to find the 1 in box 1 and like what those implications are. making this a 1 makes this a 3. Which forces 8 and 9 here. But that seems okay. Because this is a 1. So it could have a 6. I mean, this feels crazy. Like this 1 triple. There definitely is, okay, 1 is definitely on. 1 is not the other digit we're throwing out, right? Because if you don't have a 1, you can't. The digit we're throwing out, like the other low digit that goes in here, it can't be 1 because you just need a 1 somewhere. Because if you don't have a 1, then 6 can't go anywhere. 2 is already removed. So we know you have to have a 1. But I don't know. The thing is if I take a 1 off here, there still could be a 1 here, right? That would make this a minimum of 3 and this a minimum of 3. So that's no. I can't take the 1 off of the. Is that true that one of these definitely is a 1? Like the 4 is very suspect to me. Oh shoot. Okay, sorry. I got a knock on. I have to be quiet. So I should stop streaming. I'm sorry. Skojo, sorry. Skojo, I really want to do this puzzle, and I'm not going to do it offline, but I'm really sorry I have to stop the stream. So my new soundproofing apparently is not soundproof enough, so I'm going to stop the stream. I thought I could be quiet enough, but I couldn't be quiet enough. Okay, thanks so much for hanging out. I really appreciate everybody's help. Sorry for moving so slowly on this. This puzzle looks really fun. I really like the idea of it, so I will save it until another time when you're around and we can look at it. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for your help, everybody, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.